Hello everyone, this is Buddha Zen Wisdom, accompanying you every day. As we age, regardless of whether you fit in with others, try to attend these types of gatherings to make your later years healthier. More and more elderly people are starting to get used to solitude, enjoying a peaceful life of reading, fishing, and walking alone. However, although loneliness has its unique tranquility, people cannot escape the need for connection with others. Moderate gatherings not only add warmth to life, but also stimulate new vitality, making late-life experiences vibrant. Just as is written in high-quality social interactions, the character for person consists of a stroke and a d. Seemingly simple, yet it contains profound philosophy. You are the stroke, and you can only stand firm when you find that recognizes and supports you. Elderly people with interests do not necessarily need to fit in, but through selective social interactions, they discover that the warmth of human connection is the true essence of life. As one ages, regardless of whether you fit in, you should attend these types of gatherings. The reasons behind this are worth exploring. When an elder invites you, remember that every meeting could be the last, so cherish each final encounter. The writer Pan Yui wrote about his emotional interactions with his grandfather. When he was young, he received multiple educations from his grandfather, who was a soldier with a strict demeanor and sincerity towards others. During summer vacations, he would stay at his grandfather's house for a while, enjoying many delicious foods. When it was time to part, his grandfather insisted on seeing him off to the station. Later, when he went away for studies and settled far away, his grandfather passed away. His grandmother instructed the family not to tell him to avoid affecting his studies and work. Afterward, when he learned of his grandfather's passing, he felt a mix of emotions and wished he could turn back time to see his grandfather one last time. However, there are no return tickets on the road of life. Indeed, many familiar faces, when they reach old age, may not have a last meeting, leaving a lifetime of regret. It's important to realize that after turning 70, one's health declines. If an elder thinks of gathering a few old friends, that might just be the last time. Such invitations are usually among people from the same city. Consider that you live in the same city, yet you haven't maintained friendships in old age, which can be quite regretful. Of course, some elderly individuals might suddenly think of a younger family member they hope to see one last time. Would you have the heart to refuse such a request? If the elder does not particularly love you or have a special impression of you, they would not invite you. They might also have important matters to communicate with you, some treasured lifelong secrets or heartfelt thoughts that are truly moving. Although we are of a certain age ourselves, the tradition of respecting the elderly and loving the young should not be abandoned. Respecting those older than ourselves, who may not have many years left, allows relationships to reach a conclusion and is a way of passing down family values and love. Secondly, neighbors inviting each other fosters practical support in old age. As the saying goes, even a red flower needs green leaves to complement it. Even a good man needs the help of another good man. Perhaps when we get old, having money to spend and a house to live in, or having a long-term caregiver, might seem to resolve all worries. In fact, no matter how good your family background, it is still reliant on the surrounding environment. A good living environment is essential for true family happiness. Regardless of how many friends we make or how many relatives we have, and how prominent we may have been in our careers, in old age, those who can really help you will be the neighbors living nearby. For instance, Mr. Liu, who lives next door to me, used to be a cadre in a certain organization and has a high retirement salary. As he approached 80, he hired a caregiver, and his spouse is still alive. Every time they go out, the caregiver would knock on the neighbor's door to ask for help pushing the wheelchair into the elevator. Mr. Liu is 1.78 meters tall and weighs over 150 pounds, making it impossible for his spouse to manage alone, and even the caregiver struggles. Thus, a middle-aged man from the neighbor's family becomes useful. Of course, the neighbors are happy to help because Mr. Liu had introduced several job opportunities to them when he worked. Whenever the neighbor's children are in school, Mr. Liu's spouse will take the chance while buying groceries to give them a ride. Occasionally, when the neighbors are not home, the children return from school and stay at Mr. Liu's house for a while. Social bonds don't just materialize out of thin air. They aren't automatically formed just because you are neighbors. They develop through mutual interactions. As we grow older, if we are still able to move and remain healthy, it is essential to actively get to know our neighbors and cultivate a good atmosphere. Gathering with neighbors, even if it's just sharing a simple meal, is worthwhile. If elders live in rural areas, it becomes even more crucial to maintain good relationships with neighbors. Perhaps there are only a few households within a 10-mile radius, so mutual care is really important. In rural neighborhoods, gatherings not only happen but also often involve reciprocal visits. Regularly checking in helps show care and concern. A good relationship with neighbors provides the most realistic support in life. When neighbors get along well, children working far away will feel more at ease. If health permits, why not actively invite neighbors for a walk? A warm conversation might just be the beginning of mutual care. Thirdly, siblings should reconnect after festivals and resolve old grievances, leaving a good example for future generations. On the journey of life, conflicts with those around us are inevitable. It's particularly difficult to accept when siblings quarrel. After the parents pass away, disputes over inheritance can arise. When parents are struggling to survive, some may not wish to provide support. During childhood, parents may show favoritism, and those not receiving love may feel neglected. When siblings get married, parents may not treat their sons-in-law or daughters-in-law favorably. Borrowing money between siblings can lead to disagreements when someone fails to pay back. These are all factors that lead to conflict. Because of deep-seated grievances, some siblings may cease to communicate after their parents' passing. As they all grow old, perhaps some may have a change of heart, using an occasional meal gathering to try to resolve past issues. At this moment, it is crucial to attend, as blood relations exist objectively and do not vanish because of your emotions. Resolving conflicts with everyone also sets a good example for future generations and leaves behind familial bonds. Perhaps in a few years, those relationships will come in handy. Trust that love is greater than hate. There is a saying that with love, even drinking water feels satisfying. Without love, even eating feels hunger. Attending gatherings does not necessarily mean eating and drinking excessively or having large crowds. It reflects the cherishing of relationships. As we age, we need to reduce social interactions and eliminate relationships based on profit. Long uncontacted friends and colleagues from years past can be politely declined when inviting to reunions to avoid various annoyances. However, we should look ahead to see who can be relied upon in old age and who deserves our lifelong respect. As we age, we all seek a sense of inner peace and satisfaction. Cherishing those who are still willing to accompany us and accepting each warm invitation is the greatest respect for ourselves and for each other. Time passes irretrievably, but those sincere emotions can continue to flourish in gatherings. Remember that although time waits for no one, love and companionship are never too late. Attend those warm gatherings, allowing every moment of the remaining life to overflow with genuine affection. May you find belonging and warmth in these gatherings, adding a splash of brightness to your later years. As one ages, being a loving person is essential. For retired women, regardless of wealth, interest in these few matters indicates you are still young. I retired 4 years ago at 59 and found that retired women, whether rich or poor, are interested in the following 3 matters, which signifies they are still young. Yesterday, the sun was shining brightly. After finishing my morning tasks, I rode my bike to a distant park and encountered an older sister who, based on her figure, seemed newly retired. But after a casual chat, I learned she was 60 years old and had just retired in March of this year. I asked her about the roles of women retiring at 60. She mentioned having a senior title and the option to retire at 55 or 60. She initially thought I was a young person due to my hat and mask, but after removing them, she realized we were the same age and complimented my figure for looking younger than a middle-aged person. In our conversation, I discovered that retired women, regardless of how much retirement pay they receive, still have an interest in these three matters, which signifies they are still young and free from age anxiety. 1. Ability to self-discipline and exercise, maintaining a youthful appearance and stable emotions. Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said that a person's age is not defined by how many years they have lived, but by how old they feel. A person's youth is not solely determined by age, but also by the state they present. Women who appear youthful after retirement usually maintain self-discipline in regular exercise. Regardless of age, they can shine brightly. The older sister I met yesterday told me she has consistently run and chosen to practice Bajuanjin and yoga after turning 50. Those who persist in exercising in life generally maintain good health and appear younger than their peers. Exercise is not just about physical health, it provides physical and mental encouragement. Such positive emotions extend outward, making social interactions more frequent, thus gathering more positive energy. This brings a harmonious atmosphere and a sense of belonging in retirement, making life much more enjoyable. 2. Caring for loved ones and practicing humanity. A large portion of elderly women focuses on the happiness of their families. They engage in various relationships, from nurturing children to caring for grandchildren and friends. In their busy lives, they still make time to care for their family members. Everyone can be busy with their own life, but a woman who knows how to be compassionate and considerate of those around her is the one who can live a joyful and fulfilling life. For example, many retired women will create platforms for their children and grandchildren, learning to appreciate what they have, even sharing meals together. In the process of socializing with others, they will also prioritize their partner's needs. In the end, happiness from loving those around them will emerge in their later years. 3. Self-renewal through learning and self-exploration. A person who loves learning never stops seeking knowledge. When a person stops learning, they begin to age. Learning can be through reading, traveling, and absorbing new things. Many retired women enjoy reading and appreciate the latest knowledge and experience. After retirement, they often choose to take classes, learn a new skill, or engage in hobbies like writing or drawing. These activities allow them to stay intellectually stimulated and maintain a youthful spirit. Lastly, it's essential to emphasize that aging is not a disease, but a phase of life. As one grows older, one may find new ways to grow and blossom. With age comes the wisdom of experience, transforming past regrets into future motivation. Love, compassion, and the will to learn are vital components of happiness as we grow older. So don't shy away from life, enjoy every moment, cherish the warmth of gatherings, and embrace every experience as a chance for renewal.